All right, so this is the last I'm going to mention about the fight until the fight happens, just to elaborate on the last conversation that I had that you guys seen on Street Beefs. I wanted to make that short because a lot of people don't like to watch long videos. If you're interested in the whole ordeal, then this is the video for you. I commented on one of his video during the time that the Capitol was attacked. I mentioned that everybody is saying that Trump supporters are terrorists because they're attacking government officials, right? Like a lot of people are saying, that's exactly what Antifa and Black Lives Matter did throughout the whole entire summer. They replied back, well, it's because of racism and, they have a real reason behind it. Prior, they're saying that there's no excuse at all. If you ever go against your government, you're committing treason, you're being a terrorist. But they say, well, under certain circumstances, that's not the case. Which is true. Under certain circumstances, it's not the case, like Trump supporters going after a government or people going after anybody if they're done wrong, right? That being said, I kept going on about, number one, there was definitely Antifa there. Were there Trump supporters? Absolutely. But I said it's not just the Trump supporters there. Every event that there is, Antifa always shows up. Josh and all his buddies were saying, no, the FBI said there wasn't any Antifa there. And I was like, okay, well, we've known the government to lie before. And he's like, well, what are you, smarter than them? You know more than them? No, I don't know more than them. But just because they're telling you something doesn't mean that it's true. Of course, they know the right information. That doesn't mean that they're going to give that information to the public. Two, there's a mixture of every kind of political party there, whether if it's parties that really don't exist and, just mixture of different things, organizations, BLM, Antifa, whatever. Antifa was there. You can't tell me there was no Antifa there. There's video of it, which I did show him. I showed him video of people yelling Antifa, people bashing it in, people that you could tell they're obviously Antifa, wearing their gas mask, just the way that they're dressed. Totally anti-Trump people. Just like a few other events where there were people that were saying fuck Trump, everything like that, breaking things and they say, oh, well, maybe they were Trump, whatever. I show them this video and they're saying, oh, well, it was a video off of TikTok. It's because I put it on TikTok, and of course I downloaded the video so it shows a TikTok name to it. Just because it's on TikTok, I mean, okay, well, Biden got voted into presidency and there's videos of it on TikTok, so does that make it can't be real news, guys, anymore. So they started going off on these views of just stupid fucking excuses and all over the place with things. And all I kept saying is, multiple times I said I can understand maybe not liking Trump and maybe being brainwashed into thinking certain things. That's perfectly fine. But all the things that you don't like Trump for, which I personally don't believe are true, like him being racist, but let's just benefit of the doubt, let's say he is racist. All the things that you don't like Trump for, Biden is. And you can say, oh, he's changed, whatever. 47 fucking years in politics. 47 years in politics. And he didn't do shit for the black community. He did the exact opposite and fucking put him in a shitty situation. Things that people are still being affected to this day and age because of how people grew up. You're a product of your environment. A lot of people are racist because of the environment that they grew in. Some of it being caused by Biden and a lot of other politicians like himself that have certain views on how they want to handle things. And I was just mentioning over and over again, like, okay, don't like Trump, but if you don't like Trump, then you can't like him. He's not fucking a person that's about equality, for one. Second, you keep going on about the LGBT community. I was like, well, he's not for that. I mean, 47 years he said that. And yeah, people can maybe change. But I mean, even 2 years ago, he was saying that. He said that with Obama, that they both don't support gay marriage. So I just don't think, 47 years later, there's certain times that people don't change, especially in certain specific things. I mean, you could change, obviously, the way that you do things, adapt to things, whatever. But I mean, if you're a racist all your life, I don't think Very, very unlikely to change, especially if it's changing right when you're getting into office and you're changing your things right before. I think that there's definitely a coincidence there, and he's trying to, win people over. Same thing with the LGBT community. Totally against it forever, but of course a lot of his voters were part of that community. Of course you're going to try to get the votes. And if you're changing those kind of opinions or beliefs last second, it's not a coincidence. Coincidences do happen, but when there's fucking multiple of them at a certain time, yeah, it's not a fucking coincidence. And I kept just saying, this dude, my whole conversation, I really didn't even mention Trump more than maybe once or twice after being attacked, saying that, oh, you must like Trump. And I was like, okay, well, even if I do like Trump, my whole point of this conversation has nothing to do with Trump. Biden is a piece of shit. Everything that you keep saying that you love him for, not being racist, about being equality, about being for specific groups that people are wanting to be for most, like Black Lives Matter and the LGBT community. Those two communities he's definitely not for, and along with other communities that are about, diversity. I just kept repeating that because I was literally repeating myself over and over again because I couldn't even get that through his head, what I was just trying to say. They kept saying, oh, well, no, he's for that, people change, whatever. And I'm like, everything that he has done and still does shows the opposite. Right after the riots, right after he got voted in as well, people of the LGBT community, I'm probably fucking pronouncing it wrong, and I'm probably saying it 100 times wrong. I apologize for that. That community, and even the Black Lives Matter community, were pissed when he got voted in because after all that promises, he stopped talking to the people. They were writing letters. They were posting on Twitter saying, okay, we voted for him. A couple days after the election, we see that he won, pretty much every state that he needed to win. And now he's not talking to us. And he's ignoring us. But he wasn't ignoring for months throughout the whole summer, all the way into, going almost into the winter. He wasn't. It's not a coincidence that he just gave a fuck about getting some votes. And you guys will see that. You guys can say, oh, you're just sad that Trump lost. It is so much more than that. And just to go into that it isn't about me, I'm fucking white. Okay? Not only am I white, right? And being a man, when it comes to, and fucking straight. The reason why I bring those three things up is Biden doesn't give a fuck about you black people. He doesn't give a fuck about you gay people, trans people, none of that shit. So how is it all about me when I'm literally defending about the fact that you're going to regret having this person in office? You're going to regret having him. It doesn't affect me. If he takes some rights away, I'm not the one that if he fucking doesn't fix things when it comes to the corruption of the government and the police and the racism going there, I'm going to get pulled over by the police, and guess what's going to happen to me? Nothing. I get pulled over. I admit that. I admit there is white privilege in those kind of ways because I am driving, and I always drive pretty much illegal all the time. Throughout the whole summer, didn't have tags, didn't have fucking plates, didn't have fucking insurance, and nothing happened. No registration taken, I have speed all the time, get pulled over. I admit that. It doesn't change the fact that Trump's in office. It doesn't change Biden when it comes to a lot of these things. But you guys laughing saying, oh, you're just mad Trump's not in office. You're going to be the one that's fucking mad. You're going to be the one that's mad because he's maybe doing his thing right now and trying to see that he's for the people. But remember, guys, 47 years, didn't give a shit. You think that's going to change now? Oh, yeah, I forgot. People change, guys. People change. A fucking old-ass man stuck in his ways. These motherfuckers born in the 30s, 40s, 50s. We shouldn't be having people of that age in the first place, especially people that have stood for that kind of stuff and still stand for a lot of racism and diversity. So that's literally what I'm saying to you is literally what I was saying to him. So his response was, if you don't like Joe Biden, you're either a bigot or you're a sex offender. And the comment right before that was, he said, and then somebody else in the community in his comments said, Biden supporters and Democrats are just people about progression and rights, and that's why you won't see them getting taken off platforms, because all they spread is positivity and peace, and they just want diversity for people and equality for people. But Trump supporters, you'll definitely see them getting taken off because they're only about violence and this, that, and the third. And it's like, come on, the whole summer, you want to make an excuse for that? That's all I gotta say. You guys take care. Think about that. Do what you want to do with that. Shove it up your fucking ass. Do whatever with the information that I give you there. But I'm just telling you how it is. I'm not going to mention shit about him. I'll see him at the fight. I'll beat his fucking ass at the fight. And he'll still talk shit after the fight because that's just the kind of person that these people are. And it's fine. He can go fuck himself.